In today's pattern, I'm going to be using Red Heart with Love, and this is a really fabulous one. It's called Fruit Punch. It's by With Love with Red Heart, and I'm going to be using a size 6.0 millimeter crochet hook size J today. You can substitute the yarns for anything that you wish that you have in your yarn stash in order to make it work for you. So let's begin working on this pattern together, and we're simply just going to chain up, or sorry, going to do a slip knot. And we're going to put that on. And remember that with slip knots, this never counts as one. So let's chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And simply now going forth from the hook. So you just count back 1, 2, 3, and 4. I just pinch down on this, or just push down, so that it prevents it from rotating around the hook prematurely. So let's do a double crochet, and we want a total of 3 double crochets in a row, 1 into each one of the remaining chains, like that. Always getting started always takes a little bit more time, and simply this is what we have. I need you now to turn the project just like so, and I need you to chain up 6. So this here, just so you know, is the very corner of your afghan or your scarf at this point. So that just helps you keep your orientation in order to make it work for you. So let's chain 6. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, going forth from the hook. So every time we're growing this scarf in either side, we're always going to chain 6 to start. So we're just going to double crochet forth from the hook, and the 2 remaining chains, 1 double crochet each. So this is what we have. So remember, see how it's kind of flipped up on its side? If you remember that this is the corner, you just got to remember, you just got to flip it. Okay, so now what we have, this chaining of 3 space right here is where we're going to go into. So we're just going to immediately kind of fold it up like a book. Just fold it up, grab it and pull it through. So that's a slip stitch, and now we want to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. So every time we're on top of a block, we always chain 3 and then 3 double crochets. Do you see how I just automatically just kind of push down? That first one of chaining 3 always kind of wraps around the hook incorrectly, so it just helps to stabilize it. So you may have your own way of holding the hook in the yarn, so that's not an issue for you. That's more of an issue for me. So let's begin again to the next row. So let's turn our work. So this is what we have. Remember, this is the very corner. And so we're growing this, so that means that the triangle is going to get bigger and bigger. So we're actually working like it's a stairway. So let's chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oops, I just got to get that 6th one in there. Okay, and now forth from the hook, we're going to come back. See how I kind of didn't even count it? It's just because it becomes automatic to you when you're working with this pattern, just to visualize where it is. And that's what makes this a very speedy project once you can get the realization that you don't need to count. Like that. So here we go. So we got the first one, so we want to fold it up like a book and go to this chaining of 3 space right here. So we're just going to fold it up and slip stitch, and then 1, 2, and 3. And now 3 double crochets into that same space. So there you go, and now we want to secure it again, so secure it to the next chain 3 space here. And see, so if you didn't want it any wider, what you would do is stop at this point, so therefore it won't go any wider in this direction. It's too early at this point, but we're going to chain 3. But that's, you know, people have questions on when they have to stop growing it, and that's essentially how you do it. You just don't add this extra piece right at the top in order to make it wider. So there you go. So you can see the triangle is getting bigger. So we're now going to turn our work back, and now we're still growing it. So chaining of 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Forth from the hook as normal. Okay, we're just going to double crochet in. You will be noticing in this tutorial that I am wrapping the yarn slightly different than what I've been doing in the last 5.5 years on YouTube. I've kind of changed my method of wrapping in order to match the pattern books a lot more carefully. So let's go. We just want to fold that up like a book, slip stitch it to the chain 3 space on this box right here. So if you think of it as all boxes, it's just easier to remember. So chaining a 3, so we're stepping up, and now we, in this next space here, 3 double crochets. Okay, and now we go to the next space right here, the next box, bring it together. Okay, and now chain 3 again because we're still stepping up. So in my scarf there's a total of 7 boxes across. So I'll just show you that in a second. But if you want a wider scarf, then don't stop at 7. Do 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. You know, the creativity is up to you. So we're going to come in the final box here, slip stitch it, and chaining 3, and we want to finish this off. So let me show you how to count the boxes. So essentially it doesn't matter how you look at it. I would classify this as the bottom of your scarf. So if it's hanging on your body, this is the bottom. So basically this is a box, this is a box, that's a box, that's a box. There's a total of 3 so far, and I want a total of 7 of those going across. So I'm gonna steer you one more time going across this, and then we're gonna show you how I'm gonna speed ahead, and then I'm gonna show you how to decrease once you get to the width that you want. So let's turn our work. And we're still growing it at this point, so we're gonna just chain up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 4th from the hook, as always. Okay. I've had too much caffeine today. I think I'm shaking on camera. Oh, I love caffeine. Okay, here we go. We're just 1 double crochet into each one of the chains, working our way back. And once you do that, fold it up like a book and slip stitch it and chain 3. 1, 2, and 3, and then 3 double crochets into the same space. So this creates a really beautiful ruffle that you see. Once you get your 3 in, just chain or slip stitch it to the next box. 1, 2, and 3, and 3 double crochets into the next. This becomes really a no-brainer, and that's why you see so many people on YouTube and Facebook all doing these kinds of afghans, because it really is very simple, and it's a nice change from double crochet as what we've been doing all along. We're still double crocheting, it's just not in rows like we're used to seeing. So this is there. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. So we're gonna finish this one here. So I want you to either follow my pattern, go to the 7, or get to the width that you want. Just continue to do what I just showed you, and in the next one I'm gonna show you how to decrease. So I'm not gonna go the full 7. We're just gonna carry on, and I'm gonna show you how to be able to make this now so that we're gonna grow it like a scarf. Okay, so in this row here we're going to stop growing it so that it's no longer going to be getting any wider. So at this point I'm going to start off my row as normal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I've decided that this row here, the starting row, is I'm going to continue to grow up the scarf in this direction, going upward. Okay, so here's the bottom, and it's going to keep going up like this, and it's no longer going to get wider at this point. So 4th from the hook, double crochet, and then into the remaining 1 double crochet into the remaining 2, and fold it up like a book. And what we want to do is that we don't want to go all the way across like we have been doing. So just continue to do your boxes as normal, so chaining a 3 and then 3 double crochets into each until we get close to the other side. Because if we continue to go beyond a certain point, you're going to grow it on the other side, but we don't want that anymore. So this is the same rule that you would have for any kind of afghans. People always ask, when do I stop? Well, you have to determine the width. So I determined that this width is fine for me, so I'm going to keep it that way and I'm not going to grow it any bigger, and then I have to start decreasing at that point. I'm really not sure how to explain it any more simpler than that. I think it's part of my problem. So we're coming all the way, so we're not going to go all the way to the rows 2, 3, and this is the final box here. So normally I would have done here and then carried on, but then I will continue to grow it wider if I do that. So essentially this side becomes the side that we're no longer growing on. So once you get your 3 in, you slip stitch it to the chain 3 space. Okay, and we stop. So basically you have now this side growing up, and this side now is becoming this side edge of the other side. So essentially we just have to turn it at this point. So I've left off where I've slip stitched, so I'm just going to turn it, and essentially I have to slip stitch back. So 1, 2 and 3. So I'm just going to slip stitch into the top, the beginning double crochet here, so pull through and through, into the next one, through and through, and into the final third right there. Now I don't want to slip stitch all the way to this chaining of 3 space here, because what's going to happen if you do that, you're going to have an edge that's not very good. So let's chain up 3. So 1, 2 and 3. So this is how you would start off a regular row if you're not growing. So this side is always going to be the same. So we chain up 3 and we immediately just do your 3 double crochets in. And then change it, like fold it up there to the box. So do you see that? So now you have a nice bottom edge here, you have it going flat here, and you have it growing up on this side. So 1, 2 and 3, and we simply just work our way across the top like we have been doing all along. I want to apologize in advance. Sometimes I think I'm probably grabbing the stitches from my old method. I'm trying my very hardest to make sure that I grab the stitches consistently. I've been doing a different way for the entire duration of YouTube, and I've decided to switch as of last week. So I should be grabbing it like you see here. See, now I'm paying attention. So I'm coming up around the back and coming forward. Okay, so we want to still continue to grow it up on this side. So if you wanted a full square at this point, you would stop here and just, you know, finish in the end. But you don't want to do this. This is a scarf. So you always want to continue to add the final box here on this side. And essentially it's just making it longer. So basically this is what you have. So this side is going to grow. So you just keep going back and forth. This side you're always going to stop in the box that's right above, so you're no longer going to go beyond. And this one here we always add an extra box at the top in order to continue along. So I'm just going to do that one more time. So to turn, we're just going to turn, and this is still growing on this side, so we chain 6. 4, 5 and 6. Third from the hook. There's a double crochet, and the 2 remaining stitches or chains are going to get a double crochet each. And now we fold it up like a book. So you can see that we're still growing it on the side. So 1, 2 and 3, and we just continue to work across as we have been doing all along. So it's just basically the edges that change if you're growing it or whether you're just wanting to stop growing it. That's the only part of this afghan that changes, or the scarf that changes. So just work all the way across. I'll meet you back up in a second where we'll be on the other side, and then we have to make a decision on when the scarf is as long as you need it. So here we have it here. This is the final box that we have to do. 1, 2 and 3. You will find yourself automatically not paying attention sometimes and thinking that you've gone one too far. That happens to all of us, so don't worry about that. If that happens to you, you just pull out your stitches and just realign yourself, because sometimes you think you're on the other side and you're not. So we got our final box in. We slip stitch like so. So there you can see it there. We turn our work automatically and just begin slip stitch to the first, slip stitch to the second, slip stitch to the third, and then that's when you begin to chain 3 again. So every time you're starting on this side where you're not growing any further, just simply chain 3 and double crochet into the gapping space. 1, 2 and 3, like so, and just work your way across. So in the next part of this tutorial, when I get to the other side, I'm gonna decide that I've gone long enough. So basically you're just gonna keep going back and forth till you get the length, and now I'm gonna show you how to finalize this off. Now when you're looking at this pattern, I will have posted the pattern in the more information of this video. You will see how many of these boxes that I went across. I'll put a side note on this the screen right now to show you how many boxes I went all the way up on the other side. It's important that you do follow that if you're using the tapestry yarn, because I actually figured it out with very little yarn left over at the end. So if you go too far, you might run out of yarn before you're done. So I'm working my way all the way across, and hypothetically say my scarf is long enough, so I've been growing it all along. You know it's gonna be a few feet. It's probably gonna be about 6-7 feet, and you're gonna get to the length that you want. So all of a sudden you now have to stop growing on this side that is pointing up, because if you keep growing it, you're gonna run out of yarn and your scarf is gonna be like forever. So let's just finalize off. Okay, so essentially we just want to chain 3, and we want to go into this final box here. So if I was growing it, this is not my final box. It would still be one above this cherry looking box up here. I just want to slip stitch here. Okay, as normal. So if I wanted to keep growing it, I would continue to add another box, but at this point I've determined that I've gone long enough, so I'm gonna just turn it automatically now, and just like we've been doing on the other side. So now I just slip stitch to the, like I did before, so slip stitch to the 1, slip stitch to the 2, and on the third one slip stitch, and that's when you begin. So at this point now we're no longer growing the afghan or the scarf in all of the directions. We're now gonna just finalize off this little piece of the corner. So to do that, it's just like before, it's just chain 3, because we're no longer growing it, and then 3 double crochets in. You will find that once you get to this point, this finalization is really quick to do, and you just keep going across like you normally would, and then 1, 2 and 3, and you just have to look for where the other edge is. Okay, so we're working across. So this next one is our final corner here, because if I go any further it's going to be out of shape. So 1, 2 and 3. Excuse me, I dropped my yarn. 3 and okay, and then slip stitch to the top. So I don't want to go any further because I've got my edge that I needed. Turn. Okay, and it's just like before. We slip stitch to the 1, slip stitch to the 2, and then slip stitch to the 3, chaining 3, 1, 2 and 3, because we're just gonna keep going. Okay, we just slip stitch it to the next one here, and then 1, 2 and 3. So you can see why these are very popular. They're very easy, really no-brainers to think about. So we're just gonna fold it up and slip stitch it like so. So we're now done. So you just have the final corner left. So you can see there's a little hole in the final corner. So again, to start up, we slip stitch to the 1, slip stitch to the 2, slip stitch to the 3, and now chain 3. So 1, 2 and 3, and then into this gapping space for 3 double crochets. So you got that in, and then slip stitch, and voila, you are done. So all you have to just do is fasten off your yarn. So just pull it through like so, tighten it up, and I always just put an extra tie in there just to secure it, and then just want to weave in your ends. And you'll want to weave in your ends on both sides, and that would be how you complete a corner to corner scarf, just like so. And you can use the same concept in doing afghans or anything that you wish when it comes to the corner to corner afghan. You can also make this a corner to corner shawl too, as if you continue to grow up on a triangle, keep growing the triangle as much as you want, and then you can just stop at any point, and voila, you would have a really amazing shawl, just like so as well. Until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of thecrochetcrowd.com. For more free patterns and ideas, please check out my website, thecrochetcrowd.com. Have a great day. We'll see you.